All right, hello. My name is Spinal, and I'm gonna be going over my rock, blue, black, red, no, black, green, red ish Tem team. So, this is it on the screen. I'm gonna go through all of the choices and kind of what our ideas are behind what we're playing. There's a lot of meta calls in here, and maybe if you like it, you can try it out too. And then we'll play a game or two and see how it goes. So right off the bat, we're gonna start off with our Minotaur Rolder core. Minotaur and Rolder are staple Tems of the meta right now. Minotaur because it just has the most impressive stat spread, and the trait Tardy Rush is incredible. Also, the other trait it has, um, Thick Skin, is also very good. Um, it has just incredible moves, incredible stats. It kind of just sits on the field. Either you deal with it, which is very difficult due to reactive vial, and it's absolutely massive bulk, 470 HP, 214 defense, 100. Like, these stats are crazy. So it either sits on the field, generating a ton of value until Target Rush procs, and then it becomes uncontrollable, or you deal with it and you have to run through a ton of HP and defenses. Similar to that is the Tyrannac, who plays a very similar role. Um, he's a little different because he has Intimidator, which lets him just nullify all traits on the battlefield. So there's no traits on the battlefield while he's on. He basically becomes a absolute must ban for certain teams that really rely on their temps really rely on their traits. Like classic example is Mimit won't transform if it doesn't have a trait. So if Tyrannac ever looks at a Mimit is just you actually have this really funny situation where they just have a untransformed Mimit. But he's very similar to Rolder. He's very difficult to remove. He's slightly squishier than Rolder, but his typing makes it so he's only weak to one element, which is toxic. So it's very hard to get good trades off against this guy. He also has a ton of really great abilities. Meteor Swarm and Outgrowth are great AoE, and Flaming Meteorite just does a ton of damage. Um, so those two are kind of, I would say, are wearing down elements where we force them into playing against very high bulk, high damage Tems, and puts them on a clock, if you will. Then we got Minotaur, another high meta pick, very strong Tem. He's electric, but he's also mental. So the mental lets him resist neutral attacks, which is very relevant. He has access to Hasty Lunge and Piezo Electric Blow, 2-3 Prio Electric skills that both do a ton of damage. Piezo going to 155 damage if you have the Earth Synergy, which is just crazy. On top of that, he has Black Hole, which is a really good psychic move. It lets you wipe out stage changes on targets if you have Rock Synergy, which means if they have like a +8 Tem and you Black Hole with Synergy, you can just put them down to +0 again. Lastly, he has Purgation, which is a really incredible and versatile move. It has one prio, but it lets you give another Tem +2 attack. And if you can ever Purgation and be faster than the other Tem that you are buffing, they'll get the benefit in the same turn, and it's almost as good as attacking yourself. Except it has lasting benefits for every turn that Tem gets to attack. So like the combination of really great electric moves, also casually has an incredible stat line as well. That seems to be a recurring theme here with these super meta Tems. Incredible stat line, very high HP, very high attack, high defense, just very bulky. And Rusher trait is really incredible. It gives him speed. He starts the game, if he starts opening on the field, he starts with +2 speed, which lets you purgation potentially and be faster than your other Tem, because the +2 speed basically uh, is the same as making purgation a two prio move. Um, but and you can go higher or you can go lower. Anyways, he's really incredible. So that's like the three ultra omega giga meta Tems is Tyrannak, Rolder, and Minotaur. Basically, any team that you're gonna play in the high end meta right now either has to play these Tems and or has to have a way to deal with them or know that you're gonna spend your band on them. Like a lot of teams, like they just have to ban Tyrannak right off the bat. People want to ban Rolder just because it's like a high value Tem, and any team that has a lot of electric weeks usually wants to ban Minotaur. Anyways, so these three Tems really important in the meta, very very meta. To round it out, we have one of my favorite Tems. This is Grandpa. Sorry, all the Tems have Italian food names. We'll go over the names one more time. But this is Grandpa. He is a kind of a strange aggro control hybrid. Whereas the other three Tems were like really bulky, high damage, and then in Minotaur's case, really fast, just because of his trait. This is more of like more of like a strange aggro control hybrid Tem. We spec'd him into a high amount of HP and speed, and his job is to basically you can either run Stare or you can run Windburst, which is not bad with his 189 base special attack. And what he wants to do is sit on the field and turbo choreography so that he becomes faster. His teammates become faster, and when he has speed advantage, he can hypnosis. Basically, every other turn, he puts somebody to sleep. They don't do anything that turn. They don't do anything for the next turn, but they can't be hit. He also runs Hyperkinetic, which is an interesting ability because its damage scales not only with special attack, but also scales with speed. So if you ever get in a situation where you're turboing, this increases in damage every time. He also has a bully trait, which if we ever get ahead and he has Hyperkinetic up, he can Hyperkinetic for quite a lot of damage. Really, one of my favorite Tems. The feeling of getting a lot of value out of turbo is fun. The feeling of putting somebody in a sleep lock is really fun. And Hyperkineticing is just really, really fun. One of my favorite Tems. It's very similar to that Tem. It can actually run almost the exact same moveset is Noxolotl. Man, I wish it said the names of the Tem. Anyways, this Noxolotl is he is very similar. He has turbo like Grandpa. He has Stare like Grandpa. And he has hypnosis like Grandpa. He's not as naturally fast as Grandpa, and he has less special defense, but we are speccing him very similar. And he has maximum defense, and he has a little bit higher defense, so 192 versus 163. So he's a little bit more bulkier against physical, which is the more important element right now, as the three Tems we talked about our core are all physical. So he's very similar to Grandpa, almost like a different take on Grandpa's kit, because he can turbo, he can hypnosis, he can also Stare. But this Tem is toxic instead of flying. So instead of Hyperkinetic, he has Toxic Ink, which does a decent amount of damage. Nothing really great, but it also poisons for 2 turns. Poison does like, I don't know, is it 11.5% damage per turn? Don't quote me on that. Look that up if you really care. But he can sit there and accumulate value either by poisoning, by every time he gets hit by a physical attack, he will poison them, or he can go and pressure Toxic Weak, especially Tems, with Toxic Ink or Stare, which the first Stare you get on a Tem is really, really high value. It lowers their defenses by a lot. Subsequent Stares do less and less, but the first Stare is really, really valuable. Um, and it's almost like a colorless form of damage, if that makes any sense. Um, both this Tem and Grandpa are kind of like colorless damage because like toxic ticks do damage regardless of the typing. It just can't hurt other toxic Tems, but poison ticks do damage regardless. Always do 11.5%, and stare. You kind of are doing damage without doing damage, and so by lowering their defense. Interestingly, we're not running Acid Reflux, which is Noxolotl's signature move. Acid Reflux basically being like a double Toxic Ink, but it has 3 hold, and it's a special attack, and it has 80 base power, so it's definitely a stronger move than Toxic Ink. We could potentially switch into Acid Reflux because we could potentially either give up Stare or Toxic Ink, but right now, because we're trying out Toxic Ink. I think it's better. Acid Reflux has the issue of when you use it, it makes it very difficult to hypnosis anything for a turn, for the next turn. So unless you're killing something, you might have an issue sleeping them. It also has 3 hold, which is a bit troublesome. But that's kind of where we are with this guy. So we have the two kind of the Turbo Tems, which is Grandpa and Noxolotl. And I'm reticent to put them together on the same team, but I think they can play well together because I've lost against a double Paharak. Anyways, they can play well together. They turbo each other. They both hypno. You just slowly kill one Tem while the other Tem's sleeping. So we've got those 3. We've got our 2 turbo Tems, and then our last 3 Tems here. So first one I want to talk about is this is Golzy. And Golzy is a very aggressive. He's a very aggressive kind of Tem. His typing is electric melee, which means that most things that he can hit super effectively can also hit him super effectively. It's a very strange typing, but basically he's weak to everything that he's good against. So he needs to either hit them harder or hit them faster, and this Golzy wants to hit them harder, so he's got some bulk, so he can take a hit and then return fire and destroy. He also has the diffuser trait, lets him lock items, which is very, very powerful. He also has Hasty Lunge. We're running Taser on Golzy, so Charged Iron Filings. It says it nullifies, but what it actually ends up doing is it's AoE electric attack. It nullifies, and then it'll proc Diffuser, which will seize them, lock their items, and then it'll proc Taser, which will burn them, and which will cause the nullify to fall off. So when you run Taser on Golzy, Charged Iron Filings no longer nullifies, which can be a positive or it can be a negative, but that's just what it does. So he's here to give us more lightning coverage because with the 2 toxics we're running, we're kind of weak to flying, and the only thing that can hurt flying super effectively is electrics. So he kind of solves like the Valorant problem for us. And also he's here to like trade. It's like it's hard to he's so highly volatile in his matchups. Like he's either gonna kill or die, probably both. So he's kind of like he's like that lightning bolt spell that you just use to trade resources so that your other Tems can wear them down. Then we have our meta call here, which is Acronox. He is a toxic earth Tem. So we get that earth on a second earth Tem, which is really important so that we can deal with enemy electrics. Not that we really need to, now that I'm thinking about it. But cool thing about Acronox is he's like an aggressive toxic Tem, whereas Noxolotl is toxic, but it just kind of wears you down. If this thing ever stings something, he can follow it up with a venom spread because his sting will trap them. So stop them from having the option to swap. So he can sting them and then venom spread them. That's 2-3 prio. That's two moves that are 3 prio that do together. It's a lot of damage. Venom spread is 150 power, which is like crazy. But if they ever find a way to push off the poison or swap out, then it can miss, basically. So that's the trade-off with that spell. It also has Soil Steam and Toxin Shower. Toxin Shower is interesting because if you ever get a speed advantage, you can use this. It does AoE damage, makes him evade the next attack in the next 2 turns. So we're running him with Slingshot. This Tem is a big problem because he's a good meta call because he deals with other Tyranax very well. Any other he deals with Tyranax very well, and he deals with Minotaur very well. So if you ever ban Rolder, even if they have Rolder up, you can bring in Acronox in the lead, and you usually will have good matchups against the common starter Tems. And then last but not least is this is a meta breaker Tem. He's our anchor. This is Taifu. This thing is it's a big old sack of. It's almost like the Blob, right? This Tem, its signature move is Leech, which lets it inflict damage. 25% damage. Does 25% of their health, and it heals him for 25%. So basically, 2 out of every 3 turns, he's either leeching or guying, which is going to recover 20% of his health. So he's generating a lot of self health, and he accumulates value by being a blob. If the enemy has, let's say 2, sometimes even 3 Tems in their last 3 that are all physical, he will Bark Shield up, which will make all of his self heals multiply their effectiveness by, I don't know the percentage, but by a lot. And basically he'll run the enemy team out of stamina and be unkillable, and he'll just slowly leech, and it's a really unfun way to lose the game. But basically, if the enemy team is full physical attackers, Taifu threatens them by just saying, like, you can't win in certain situations if this is the last Tem alive, because he'll just leech you down. His issues are that he has no turn 1 abilities, so you want to swap him in. You could put a turn 1 ability, but all of his turn 1 abilities are pretty meh. They're not super great. We're running Lullaby right now. This is like the flex slot. It could be something else. I could see Sacrifice being very good. It mitigates Toxic Farewell, which is kind of a pain, and it's also a very slow Tem. Also a pain. We could run Dusk Vortex, which has a high base attack. It's not stab, but it could be good. And then there's also sometimes people run Hypoxia, similar to Dusk Vortex. It has 1 hold. There's Cage, which could be interesting. But this is what we're running right now. We're running him with a Nut Bar, so that if we swap him in for the first 4 turns, he's on the field. For the first 4 turns, he's on the field. He restores 6% of his HP every time he gets hit. So if he accidentally gets hit, or they try and burst him down before he gets set up, the nutrition bar will help him not die. And basically, by the time you get off the first Bark Shield against a full physical team, like if you have like over 75% health, like you're pretty much unkillable. By the second Bark Shield, like you've become a raid boss. And by the third, like they've already surrendered. So that's the team right now. There is some friction here. I feel like Acronox is very good, but the fact that he relies on his trait Cobweb, makes it kind of difficult when you are opening with Tiernak, because he will sting something, he wants to sting something and get a slingshot proc, and he won't be able to follow up 100%. They could swap out and kill your Venom, destroy your Venom spread ability, so that kind of hurts. I'm not sure that I'm piloting it super correctly. I've seen people destroy with Grandpa. I'm trying out Diabolo on Noxolotl. It's really, really powerful if Noxolotl is next to Tiranak or Rolder especially. Or if we do a swap in with Grandpa and Grandpa takes a hit or two, could keep him up. So this is what we're running right now, and let's go ahead and find a match. You can see right now I'm 1366, so I would say anybody who's above 1400 is pretty much high TMR, especially if they're 1500 or above. The highest ranked players in the game are 16, maybe even 1700. We can go check that real quick, actually. Oh, we got a game. That's good. Fast. Let's give the team a whirl, shall we? Okay, Tyrem. I don't know this guy. He is running this Calibus, which is kind of an issue for my Tiranak. And also, it's one of the few Tems that can deal with my Taifu later. We don't have to ban it in the first round. Lawali is kind of interesting because both my Toxic... It's weak to Toxic, but both my Toxic Tems kind of lose to it. I might leave it in anyways. Vanks is just a slow... He has two very slow Tems. Like, three very slow Tems. I could ban his Acronox. He banned my Rolder. Do I care about his Acronox? Not really. Not if I have a Grandpa somewhere. We definitely want to open Grandpa. So, because Grandpa is like our very strong Tem against like multiple of their slow and flying weak Tems. So we want to open Grandpa. So if we open Grandpa, we can do Grandpa Rolder. We can't to protect against Minotaur. So we could open Grandpa Acronox, which would be okay, but then Minotaur Lawali kind of crumps us. I think I want to ban Lawali. I want to ban Rolder. Let's go with the Rolder ban. We're gonna go with the Rolder ban because we have answers for Minotaur. We have multiple rock. We have one rock Tem. So maybe we ban Minotaur next round. And we have answers to Lawali. Like, if Lawali is winning the matchup against my Toxics, if I'm drafting two Toxics and I'm afraid of a Lawali, then there's an issue with my team, right? And if there's an issue with my team, we have to fix it. So the question is, do we start Acronox or do we start Noxolotl? The problem is, if that's bait, it's an issue. We'll just start like this. Can we open Grandpa and risk him opening with Minotaur? Or can we support Acronox by Tyrannacking? Maybe we should have just done Tyrannac Grandpa. Like, why did I do this? Why didn't I just open Tyrannac? I was going to ban my Grandpa. We kind of failed our mission. Our mission was to try and get Tyrannac on the field. Tyrannac Grandpa would have been a fantastic opener. Don't know what I'm doing. Unfortunate. I just get so nervous I see this Lawali. I have Tyrannac to deal with it. Like, guys. Let me switch pick commands. You see the Gario down there. That's what's beautiful about this game. It's very simple, but it also goes very deep. Picks and bans adds a lot of complexity. We can ban the Minotaur here. Save our Grandpa. That may or may not be alive. But we can also just ban Calibus. I just want to ban Calibus. This gives me the option to Taifu him down. He banned my Noxolotl. It's interesting. gonna pick Grandpa here. Why did he ban Noxolotl? He really wants his Tyranic to succeed, basically. Golzy can hit this thing. Minotaur cannot, really. He has 2 ground, so we don't want to roll with too many electrics. Gario cannot hit Taifu very well. So if you ever get into a situation where his last attempts are like a exhausted Tyranic and a like Gario, we're sitting pretty. I'm pretty sure this Lawali has bait, but does it matter is the question. Does it change what we do? Not really. Even if this thing has bait, if it doesn't, we kind of screwed ourselves, but whatever. It does have bait. Bait is very common on the Lawali. It's a very powerful item. We take the hits. Do we survive? Probably not. Do we survive the head ram? No. This is not a good opener, guys. Very bad. But Lawali's on the way out, so it gives us a turn to set up, basically. We could bring in Grandpa right here. He did not bring any of his toxic temps. So if we bring in Grandpa, he'll bring in Minotaur when Lawali dies. He wants to bring in Minotaur anyways. Yeah, this is fine. We needed Aquanox to deal with Minotaur. Like, this is just a mess, guys. It's just a freaking mess. We do not have Stare anymore. We put on Windburst. Stare would be a lot more damage here. Well, maybe it's about the same. The second hit Tyranic gets, Stare would have done more. But maybe we kill with Hyper. So we are going to be... Ooh, we're taking a Savage Suplex, which is going to proc our bait, but it is going to nullify the Vigorize we would have otherwise gotten. Meteor Swarm comes down, does a little bit of damage. This Lawali, basically, they win off of the Lawali opener because they got so much value out of it. They killed an entire temp, and they got this temp low, and they trapped it, which sets it up for Minotaur to explode it. Question is, do we try and Hypnosis before? We probably won't be able to Hypnosis fast enough. No, we actually are probably faster than. But Puttanesca wants to do a Overgrowth, so unless we just go for the. If we Overgrowth, it has potential to kill Venks with the Overgrowth Hyper. We have also the potential to just fucking die. Just not kill him and lose. If we Flaming Meteorite the Minotaur, we get really good damage on that thing, and we want it dead. So... he's going to Ninja Jutsu. We want to try and save Overgrowth anyways for Gario. I don't think we'll get a chance to do that, but... we're going to do this kind of weird looking play. Like we're at this point we're playing risky because we have to somehow overcome the loss from the we have to somehow turn the tide from what we lost from the Lawali just destroyed us. We're gonna show Primus here. There's no point in starting with the other time because it does nothing on turn 1. So we now have the option to either attack with Primus or swap it. So Primus can, sorry guys, Primus can, if he stays in, he's gonna take a black hole. So we're just gonna swap in our other temp. I don't even think Meteor Shower kills here. It's just a disaster. It's just a disaster. It's just a disaster. Like, we should literally just concede at this point. We're gonna play it out. There's like a 1% chance we win at this point. We fucked up the opener, guys. We fucked up the opener. They were showing Luwali, and we put in Acronox. We didn't swap it out. We threw in Tyrannac. We could have easily just swapped it out. We could have easily... I don't know. We needed to save Acronox. Acronox is extremely important. It's the only thing we have that really deals with Minotaur well. It still has... It deals with Minotaur, it deals with Tyrannac, and we just let it get died without getting... It got one sting off. Like, it got almost no value. So that's where we fucked up. We didn't evaluate Acronox's priority correctly. Maybe starting with Acronox was fine, but we needed to save its life. Absolute freaking mess. Ugh. I just want to concede, but there's like some strange bug. It's not a bug. Crema has some like, if you like concede matches too early, they're gonna penalize your feathers gain from your wins. This is like completely just from my experience, but like I have won games and gotten 17 feathers when I normally get like 40 or 50, and I'm pretty sure it's because I was conceding games. But that was also, that day I had conceded a game in pick ban because I had just lost on pick ban. So, but it was like multiple wins got penalized for that. So I don't know how that works. Does a lullaby do anything here? Do we outspeed Gario? Do we outspeed Gario? Wait, is there a chance, guys? Gario? We're looking it up. Gario has base 38 speed, 124. Taifu has base... So, Taifu is slightly faster, but we need Gario to do a 1 prio move for this to matter. And I don't think he is, so we're just gonna Bark Shield. We have Charged Iron Filings. We could try and Oshi-Dashi the hell out of this. We have to. Kabidoom! That's some good damage. The problem is Tyrannac is one of the few times that could probably win the duel against Taifu. But Taifu is getting the advantage of starting with, I guess, a Bark Shield, so... The question is... Yeah, no, it's not a question. We get a Bark Shield. The problem is Tyrannac is doing too much damage. Gario almost does nothing. But, this is the turn we can Lullaby to stop Tyrannac from doing Meteor Shower. But we don't have enough stamina to do Lullaby into Leech into Gaia. So it'd be Lullaby into Gaia, which is kind of Pepega. No, I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it's good. Because this is going to stop Tyrannac from casting Meteor Shower. Oh, he doesn't have Meteor Shower. I got played. He doesn't have Meteor Shower, so he did Embers. GG with this. If he Meteor Showered that turn, then we would have had a chance. Because we would have gone first, slept him, and been okay. Now we have to Gaia, which is like so Pepega. Damn it! Do we Bark Shield or Leech? I think we just have to Leech. We have to get the HP. It's the only chance we have. He's probably running Sharp Leaf on his Tyrannac. I think it's a Frightening. No, it's a trait Tyrannac. Because we saw the Gario come in with nothing. So we're gonna Bark Shield again. He can own Embers next turn, which we might live the Embers. Also, I'm pretty sure we go first. So the question is, does Embers into another Meteor on my head kill me? So this is the turn. Either he wins this turn or he loses. Can we survive with 91 HP? Answer is probably not. This is a +6 defense Taifu. We'd probably die by like less than 10 HP. So even though we horribly played that, we still came very close to winning just on the strength of Taifu. We just fucked up the opener. Alright, let's try again. We needed to just swap out Acronox. Simple. We have plenty of good swaps. We could have swapped in Grandpa right there. Grandpa into the Minotaur? Wait, there was no Minotaur. It was Lawali and... I don't even know. Lawali and something irrelevant. Oh, the Vanks. Could have swapped in Grandpa. Acronox was a good pick because it countered half his Thames. So the problem wasn't the pick, the problem was the play. Ugh, so frustrating. Like simple shit, guys. Simple shit. These are my, let's see, I need to get like a little Luma showcase. This is kind of my Luma showcase. These are my Lumas and this thing. Oh, where's my Ryber? Maybe that's my Luma showcase. These are my Lumas. I really want to use this thing, but really want to use this thing in competitive as a Raikan. But I haven't gone down that dark path. Fire is like a really good element. If this thing gets like even the teeniest little buff, it'll just run over the game, I'm pretty sure. Tahone, we've played this guy many, many times. His Babawa has a drill. He runs a Raikan sometimes. He has to ban my Tyranic because he has a Mimit. He doesn't have to. He has good things to deal with Tyranic, but not like great things to deal with Tyranic. We can ban Rolder and just open Tyranic. Just gonna ban Rolder. He has to ban Tyranic. We can open Minotaur Rolder. We can also open Noxolotl. Man, I want to open Noxolotl. Or do we open Acronox? He doesn't have anything that can deal with Acronox. Oh, I mean, he has the Gaialis. But can we deal with Gaialis? Can we deal with the Gaialis? We could punch it with Golzi. Yeah, I think we can deal with Gaialis. Let's try. Let's try. Let's try. Acronox versus Gaialis is very scary. Acronox versus 2 Gaialises is... Oh, we've been had! Oh, it's fine. This is fine. Okay. Well. Oh, this is so bad, actually. It's actually so bad. It's actually so bad, guys. We bring in Golzi. I don't think this is going to work well for me. My god. My god, is this bad. Oh, no. We don't have a second ground now. We can't deal with his Raikan. We can't deal with his Hedgen. I'm more scared. We can't deal with Hedgen. We have Minotaur. We just can't deal with Raikan. He says move flank. Yeah. We take Raikan off the board. Oh, this is so bad, guys. We need Minotaur. We have to run Taifu. But Hedgen will deal with Taifu. Hedgen is one of the few times I can duel Taifu. He hasn't shown if he's going to go Babawa or Minotaur, but why would he go Minotaur? Minotaur can kind of deal with Golzi, but that's not even. we bring in Grandpa, he has a reason to bring in Minotaur. If we bring in Noxolotl, he has a reason to not bring Babawa. So we don't have any ground really because this thing's gonna die. So let's just do this. Bring Minotaur. I don't care. Oh no, guys! Mimit is such a cheesy. It's just so disgusting. It can be any temp, so it's like it's really fucking irritating. Like this is like the most uncreative fucking opener. But it's just two completely busted. It's just one 10 that's completely busted 2 times. That's what it is. Do we even survive 2? I don't even know. Do we kill the real one or the fake one? I think we kill the fake one because the real one has a bait probably. Oh look, we're gonna push off our own fucking... Oh no, what a disaster. Please live, Gran Turco. I think the war drum kills us. Okay, we're alive by 19 HP. Oh god. It's just so much pain in this dark world. We soil steam. Do we filings here? Just in case it lives? We could even hasty. No, we're faster than it. We already showed that we're faster. But he could try and do oh, it's just so bad. It's just all so bad. Oh, it's so bad. I'm in fucking pain. I think we can swap out here. I don't think Gran Turco's gonna kill there. I think he will die. It's just so bad, guys. It's just so bad. It's just so bad. Like, oh my god. Acronauts can beat... Oh, it's just so bad. This game is so shit. Oh god. This is the cheesiest shit. What do I have that could deal with this? Rolder? We had to open Rolder, not Acronauts. It's just so fucking irritating. Ugh. It's just, oh god. Okay. Coming back. What can we do here? Try and sleep one. Try and tink this idiot. Kill it. Sleep the other one. Problem is that one has a bait. We're not gonna even hit him. He's just gonna run out of fucking... There we go. Now he has something he can sleep. Maybe we should have just left in fucking Golzy. Not sure. Okay, 23%. Does that die to 11.5 times 2? Yes, it does. Bless. Okay, that thing's marked for deletion. Do we turbo here? Do we tink? Do we turbo into swap? Does he have any rock temps? That is not something we can hypnosis, by the way. Oh, this feels so bad, guys. Oh, man. What a horrible game. It's all about these goddamn openers. If you cannot get a neutral or better opener, you just... This team loses. Like... I don't think that burn kills. Another one. Oh, refreshing Diabolo. Does it do anything? Oh man. That guy Alice is such a problem. Probably gonna die before we click anything. It's just doomed, guys. The game is just doomed. I'm gonna try and stare for future generations to punch this thing in the throat. Just gonna ignore the Minotaur. We need better answers to Gaialis, because we added Golzi to the team. Now we're weaker than ever to Gaialis. What answers this temp? Fire temps, Tyrannak. We actually live sharp stabs. Well, maybe not at this health. Guess we'll find out soon enough. It'll all be over soon enough. Oh, he didn't want to risk it. That's fine. He knows he can kill it with a black hole, maybe? Does it kill? This is a tanky Golzi. Depends on how much attack is on that Minotaur. It does. What pain. Why is there so much pain in this world? Well, Moonflank can't do anything on this board, realistically. So he's gonna have to swap in Gaialis. The problem is his last time is really good against Taifu. Since it doesn't do physical damage, it does special attack, special damage. How much speed we got? +1 speed. Did we try Lullaby here? No, it doesn't do anything. Maybe he trips and presses hook kick or something. Oh, he didn't trip. He didn't trip at all. He did not trip. Oh, what a fucking misery. Alright, he has to bring in Hedgen, use all its stamina, and then swap it out. We have to hit it 4 times with 4 leeches. The Gaialis means almost nothing to this monster. Look how disgusting Gaialis is. It's just ugh. We need something that can deal with Gaialis. What are good counters to Gaialis, guys? Tyrannak. Let's look at all the fire and earth temps. Only thing Gaialis is weak to? Maybe I should do this. Maybe I should do this while you guys can see it. Anatan is not particularly good. Volcrane. Volcrane kind of works. Oh, he died. Thank God. We just have to ban it. Are we just weak to Gaialis? We're just weaker to Gaialis. We have to ban it. Oh man, what did we ban? What did we ban? We banned some stupid shit. Some stupid shit that didn't matter. We have to ban Gaialis. It's just the only thing more disgusting than 1 Gaialis is 2 Gaialis. Like, it's just so fucking disgusting. It's actually so fucking disgusting. I played against Tahone like I probably play against him like every day, at least one game every day. I wonder how salty or not salty he is. I wonder what he thinks about me. We play against each other every day. Okay, so Gaialis has a good, neutral at worst, good at best against Acronox. Gaialis destroys this thing. It actually has a neutral at best, at worst. It's pretty neutral against Rolder. Loses to this. Like, we're just weak to Gaialis, guys. That's okay. We're learning about our comp. It's a valuable lesson. We're learning. Let's get one more game in, and then we'll call it a video. Man, this is already a 50-minute video. Maybe we should call it there. All right. We will save the rest of the matches. If you guys are interested in seeing more matches, I'll record more, and if you're interested in seeing them, I'll upload them for you guys. But we're gonna stop here, and I'll see you next time.